92.3 Free FM.
The Doghouse with JV and Elvis.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you, Asian lady?
Place order?
I would like some Asian food. I need shrimp, fried, lice.
You can come here and see the menu.
Or maybe I can pick it up.
Yes.
That way, I can see your hot Asian, spicy ass.
It was a 6-minute phone prank called into a Chinese restaurant.
Rife with ethnic and sexual slurs.
By CBS-owned 92.3 FM's Shock Jocks, JV and Elvis.
Vicky Shu Smolin, who runs an Asian American advocacy group, is still angry about an offensive stunt that she says crossed the line.
As an Asian American and as a woman, I'm completely offended. Because this happened in New York City, I coordinated a lot of the efforts.
But we had a national OCA meeting, and Vicky, the president of OCA-New York, brought it over and played it. So we all heard it at the same time.
You should have seen the faces. It was of utter disgust. And we felt so powerless listening to the 6-minute segment of them making fun of us.
We got to do something right away. And what do we do? How do we organize?
We didn't have any ego. We know there was the mission that we had to do. So we put aside and we said, because it happened in New York City, Vicky will be the lead person.
Immediately, we began to draft a response condemning this segment.
You know, between myself, Liz, Florence, and Jeanette, we all have different strengths. We went above ourselves and really made it a community issue.
Chinese man.
Yes.
Tell me about your tiny egg roll.
We've got shrimp, got meat, and vegetables.
Your tiny egg roll in your pants.
It first aired in early April, the day after Don Imus made his controversial comments about the Rutgers women's basketball team. What's even more shocking, it was aired again a week after Imus was fired.
We sent letters to protest, we called, and Vicky spoke to the radio station. I believe for a while they're just saying that this is just for fun. This is only a joke. You know, don't take it too seriously.
Isn't this a bunch of guys on the radio that just have pushed the envelope and are trying to be funny? Isn't that what this is?
There's funny and there's funny that hurts. And this is where funny hurts.
I can't tell you the number of hate instances that begin with derogatory language by name calling. There's a clear connection. That subliminal message that we're not good enough, that we're less than, that we're inferior, that we can be mocked.
And that's how seeds of racism and hatred are planted, and the seed can grow.
Hello, Chinese man.
Yes, what can I do for you?
In a short statement, the radio station says, quote, following their recent on-air comments, WFNY-FM has suspended JV and Elvis without pay until further notice.
But CBS's move doing little to satisfy outraged Asian American groups.
Not enough. They've been suspended indefinitely, but they've been suspended before for other things. So that doesn't mean anything to us.
We were happy that they were suspended. But to add fuel to everything, they played reruns of their shows.
They have a history of mimicking Asian accents, of making fun of Asian Americans.
You want them to be fired?
I want them fired, yes.
The rally took place in front of CBS Corporation. Pulled it together really quickly. It was pouring rain that day.
You know, as a professional civil rights lawyer, it felt good just to shout.
That was my very first rally in my whole life. Well, growing up, I was taught to be docile, to be conservative, to be quiet, to lay back, to not to make waves. Like Miss Goody Two-Shoes, so to speak, trying to steer myself away from any kind of confrontation. Oh my goodness, I'm actually protesting. And this is a new me.
They think that we're quiet and we're not going to complain. And it's so important that the Asian American community does complain when they hear about these issues and not be afraid.
There's a saying in Chinese, 树大招风, means when the tree is big, it invites the wind. It makes big, waves, and people notice you, it's too much trouble. And it would be a slap to our face if we didn't say anything, and it's okay to make fun of Asians, because we don't speak up. So we have to make a stand somewhere, and this is where we're making a stand. I think it's more and more usual. It was unusual, but we're getting the hang of it, so watch out.
In order to understand why this effort was so focused, because this falls on the heels of a litany of incidences.
I was born and raised in Taipei, Taiwan, so I was able to write and speak and be interviewed by the Chinese reporters. So I was able to, in a way, be a voice.
This wasn't just about one station and one show. It was really about a community. It wasn't just OCA speaking, but it really was OCA and its national partners. Asian American Justice Center was one of our partners. The American Jewish Committee worked with us, the Anti-Defamation League. There were a number of community groups at the national level.
By bringing in people from diverse backgrounds, they can bring in their perspective and to say, this is how our community is affected.
If somebody had an idea, another person say, yeah, let's go. For example, I had an idea to do the petition. I said, let's get some physical evidence, because we're trying to have a meeting with them in like 4 days. We got thousands of signatures. Faxes coming in, signatures and signatures and signatures. I clogged up the fax machine. I'm good at selling. So I'm good at pointing out, why is this offensive to our community?
The flurry of emails that went back and forth.
You got mail.
The phone calls, strategy, meetings.
What are we doing? Are we keeping up the pressure?
It drove us. You couldn't sleep at night.
We're building.
We were just on a roll.
Building.
We couldn't stop.
We're building momentum. We're getting people feeling like mad, angry at this whole thing.
If we didn't receive the hate mail, we wouldn't be doing our jobs.
Basically doing exactly what JV and Elvis did in that bit.
You know, they get a certain drawing. That's why they air these type of shows.
No, it didn't affect me, because I thought they were stupid. One of the big things that happened was that advertisers were pulling out, getting people to write or to call sponsors and calling them saying, you know, we're really upset, you need to pull your ads off.
You just saw their logos of different advertisers just disappear from the page, one by one, till it was almost empty. It was amazing. People who produce these shows may not remove the show because of principle or because of ethics, but they will because it hurts their pocketbook.
OCA was invited to a meeting with CBS Corporation President, Mr. Leslie Moonves, and two of his senior vice presidents.
And we strategized. We had talking points. We anticipated questions that they might be asking. We basically laid out exactly why the bit was offensive and why we were not going to accept just an apology.
As a lawyer speaking to a CBS lawyer, I just said, would you handle this incident any differently than the way you handled the Don Imus incident? And he looked at me and he said, no.
She was hot. She was hot. She was like, this is not right. I just threw the 1,000 pages petition, which was as thick as a Bible book, on the table and said, a lot of people are not happy.
During our meeting with CBS, there's no animosity. They were very receptive to what we had to say, and they were very polite, and they are willing to hear us through.
They were very apologetic. They concurred this was worse than Imus incident.
We came out feeling like they were sympathetic to what we had to say.
And CBS asked us at the end, what is it you want us to do? We said, people have to be let go. You know, it has to be let go. Nothing less than that. When we came out of the meeting with all the, chanting and raving against us and followed us for 2-3 blocks, that was a little scared. And it hit home that there is, a hate. We did all this to get to this moment. Now what would happen if they do not withdraw? And then when we went home, it's a little let down because we're now waiting.
Tonight, 2 more radio shock jocks are off the air, fired for vile, racist attempts at comedy.
And CBS did a good thing. I have to commend CBS for taking action in correcting a wrong.
We felt like we have a voice. The Asian community have a voice.
So many efforts, coalition efforts, fail. This one was successful because we all had a common purpose. Everyone did what they did best, and people did not tread on each other's territories. We must respond quickly and unified.
Power comes with number.
Well, we never lost hope because we had each other.
It was like the best relationship.
It's like sisters I never had.
I think that was a key to the fact that it worked, is that we were always agreeing. So there was always a lot of that collaboration going on, because you do hear about infighting with groups.
I think it's a camaraderie, like when you go to war, you have a bond.
Teaching people that their single phone calls, that their signature on a petition, they can make a difference. What a feeling, not for just us, but for everyone.
But I think most importantly is that I think we learned that we could do it.